This is about Calvert again. We're at Kalsu, Iraq, and we're with the 3rd Brigade Combat Team, 3rd ID, and we're talking with Captain Charles Barrett, and he is the Brigade Public Affairs Officer from St. Louis, Missouri. And when we left off on the last segment, you were starting to talk about the transition. Continue.
Yeah, absolutely, Bob. The transition is it's a critical step. You want to show progress. You've got to set a timeline, as it were. And our timeline is we've reached the part where we can transition to stability operations from combat operations. I mean, we can go back to the surge when violence was at its peak, and then we can pull out the facts and figures and show you how far down the violence has gone. Is there still violence? Absolutely, but nowhere near the level that it was just a few years ago. The Iraqi security forces have stepped up. It's their success which has allowed us, the U.S. forces, to draw down. That's the most important thing.
And as mentioned earlier with Eric, I could see the difference in Baghdad. Because the police were out everywhere. And the last time I was there, everyone was facing off.
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct. And the other thing is, I mean, we're drawing down our U.S. bases. So we've just closed 2 bases and turned them over to the Iraqi security forces last month. So that's another sign of progress. It's another sign of U.S. forces drawing down. And that none of the drawdown wouldn't be possible without the success of the Iraqi security forces.
There's a big ceremony coming up October 1st. No, it's
September.
Yeah.
Oh! You're referring to the Operation New Dawn. We're transitioning from Operation Iraqi Freedom to Operation New Dawn. This Operation New Dawn is the head message. It's the message to say, hey, we're transitioning to stability operations. Is what it is, and you got to have that verbiage in there to show. There's got to be something that shows the transition is taking place, is happening. This is how we're getting the message across, and changing the operational name is important so that everybody understands that, hey, this is happening. This progress has been made, and we've been able to be this successful. So September 1st of the operation is going.
We were hoping to get to that, but with so much great plans, so that's how we want. Thank you so much.
That's right.
So what we would like to do is see people that really want to get these stories out help us, so that the majority of the American people can suddenly find out, yeah, there was a suicide bomb, and it's horrible. But that's what was in the news. But what about all this other stuff that we're hearing here now? We need to get that out. We have to all become up to lead.
Yeah, it's as public affairs officer, it's our job to help get the story out there. So we do as best we can, and we've got a Facebook page now, and the social media is really taking off for us. We've got a lot of fans. It's a new way for us to tell our story to the public. We cover those joint training events where we have U.S. forces working with Iraqi forces on the rule of law, working with them on medical training, working with them on ISR capabilities, that's intelligence and surveillance capabilities. We partner with them at every level and all aspects in order to train them up to do the job that they've been doing very well at, actually, for the last couple of years. They're only going to get better. We then in turn take those stories and we try and get them out to the public, and we've got a lot of bloggers out there who support us as well, and so that helps out. They pick up the stories that we post and then they retweet them, I believe is the correct term, or they repost them to their blog sites. That's how we're going to get the message out, and I think social media is going to be something to really look forward to in the future. And Army Public Affairs, I think we got off the starting line just touched late on the social media thing, but I think we're starting to figure it out, and we're moving forward with that. So as far as public affairs goes, we're making progress ourselves.
I was really now I understand the power of YouTube, Facebook, and how one of our supporters with this, Debbie Gregory, is a put posts on Facebook, it's going to go on Twitter. We can really get this out quickly to millions of people watching the video. And that's what it is. I always tell people, it's not about me, it's not about Anna, it's not about my talk show. It's about your stories, getting them out to the masses of the American people.
Right. Absolutely. One other aspect I wanted to touch on in social media is this gives our audience a voice. This is something that we've never seen this before. I know the guys in my shop have talked about it quite a bit. Sergeant Otto, PFC Anderson, and Sergeant Hendrick. When we get feedback from the audience that tells us that we're moving in the right direction, or maybe we need to change something, or how does the audience feel about this particular story or whatnot. It's really incredible to be able to get that feedback. It's pushing us in the direction. We know now that we're going in the direction we need.
So when these videos go on YouTube, go on your Facebook page, what we need is people to make comments. Right? Tell you what they think of it. People are starting to do that with the videos I did from Afghanistan. And a lot of them are people saying how much they support you there.
Absolutely. We love the comments. We love the feedback. And the more the stories involve the U.S. soldier, the more comments we tend to get, and that's fantastic. That's what helps us do our job. And to be able to tell the behind-the-scenes story that the mainstream media doesn't always cover, for me, that's what it's all about.
Okay, so this is one of the things the American people could be doing right now, especially those who are rating on the social network and help get these stories out.
Absolutely. We would love your support.
Okay. As the public affairs officer, the brigade public affairs officer, you see things in a little bit, maybe bigger picture. Have you seen what we heard from it today, the care packages? Have you seen another way the American people support letters?
Yes. In fact, it was interesting. My first deployment, I went probably 2 months without a single piece of mail. And I remember seeing the first sergeant's Humvee rolling up, and it was from the floor to the top of the Humvee. It was nothing but packages and letters for the soldiers in our company. And that was an incredible sight. And we got a picture of it because it was that important to us. You go 2 months without mail, it's pretty tough. I went an entire year and I only got 3 phone calls, and each of those were limited to 10 minutes. This deployment, we've made so much progress. The systems are in place. The mail is a lot faster, and we receive care packages on a regular basis, and that's awesome. Because every time you receive a care package, you say, that is somebody who said, I support the troops, I know the troops do this, and I want to do my part. Sometimes people say, I want to support the troops, but I don't know how. Well, sending a care package is the best way to do that. The next best thing is to just thank the veteran. Say, hey, appreciate your service. It's a very small token that I think goes a long way.
So our troops are coming home, they're off base, they're in uniform. I've watched it when I'm with my son-in-law. We were out eating one day, and a veteran and his wife were sitting on the other side of the restaurant, and the waiter came over. He said, that couple right there, sir, wants to have the honor of paying for the bill. And it was beautiful to see that, right in the family.
It was funny. I actually just read an article about that, and there were some soldiers at a restaurant, and a gentleman came over and said, I'd like to pay for your meal, and they said, sorry, sir, you'll have to take a number. There's 3 other people in line in front of you. And so I think that's awesome when we can see that kind of support. And maybe not every soldier is that receptive. Sometimes the soldier's just going to say, hey, this is my job. All I'm doing is my job. I want to say thanks. I appreciate it, but you don't need to pay for my meals and things like that. But I guess that's up to each individual soldier.
Why don't you look in the camera and just say hello to some family and friends back home?
Oh, absolutely. I have to say hi to my lovely wife, Michelle, our 5 dogs, our bearded dragon, and our 14th fish. I hope the zoo is doing okay, babe. I love you very much, and I can't wait to be home and I can see you and hold on to you again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
I really appreciate being here with you all. Just thank you for the great job you all did. So, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Fort Benning, talking to you more about that area.
Fort Benning's going to be great. I can't wait.
I just like it. I always like it when I have a plan, and all of a sudden something appears, and it's obviously much better.
Yep.
I'm really willing to do it.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, folks, you're on talkingwithheroes.com, our online news site. Thank you for your service.us. Thank you again, Anna, Sophie Hickson. Anna was in the Army for 8 years, and she's here helping us on the Iraq part of this mission. And when we leave here, I'll be going back over to Afghanistan. So watch for these videos as they come on. AlanGravenNewsPlace.com will be getting them up as fast as we can get them up there. And let other people know about these videos. So I want to thank you all. And to all our men and women in the military, I know a lot of you are watching these now. And thank you for your service. Be safe, stay alert. God bless you. God bless America.